Hello everyone who are unaffected by polynosius. AmeMiru here. Welcome to vitamin. Sorry. Polynosius is not a very common term, but I used it specifically refer to cedar pollen allergy in Japan. Generally, it seems to be called high fever. Every year during this season, many people in Japan suffer from cedar pollen allergy. Kaji Yugi, a voice actor famous for being the only person who understands Eren Yeager, is also one of them. While medication to alleviate symptoms are relatively easy to obtain, the ultimate solution to cedar pollen allergy is to move to Okinawa or abroad. Recently, a famous YouTuber decided to live in Japan. I don't know him or her at all though. I hope their family doesn't develop polynosius. Have you heard the news about the price of Switch 2? Hey, you now have more reason to learn Japanese. I've heard that game translations are worse than other media, so it might be a good goal to play games in Japanese, and I recommend it as a study method. This is because retro games have fewer kanji. It's interesting to see how the number of kanji increases with technological advancements. Now, continuing from last time, let's use Miyazawa Kenji's AmeMiru as a subject to get acquainted with katakana and a bit of kanji. Also, we'll delve into grammar today. This is a discussion about culture too. Here we go. Yo! AmeMiru. Let's try translating words that can be directly translated into English. It seems that we have playing, lose or be beaten, and not. Since lose has a strong connotation of losing a competition and losing something, let's avoid using it. Then, let's rearrange it to make it more English-like, like a puzzle. Not, be beaten, rain. You would notice that the word order is completely reversed. This is said to be the primary reason why Japanese is difficult for English speakers to learn and vice versa. And for those who understand English, you probably feel like those things are missing. I'd like to know what that feeling is like in words. The missing element is, of course, by. This sentence is in the passive voice. Not, be beaten by rain. Huh? Not this one?
そういう問題じゃねえ。教えはどうなってんだ、教えは。
The subject. If there isn't, there isn't. When you reach a stage of speaking a little Japanese after studying it, you are usually like this. I'll act it out now, but please understand that I have no intention of mocking you. Typical Japanese person. What Japanese food do you like? You. 私はラーメンが好きです。Setting aside pronunciation, the first thing to do to make your response more natural Japanese is to omit the subject. Then it will be like this. ラーメンが好きです。It's more appropriate. Think about it. The conversation is between you and the typical Japanese person. There is no one else. When asked what do you like, it's obvious that the subject of the verb like is you, so you don't need to say it. Could it be someone else? No. Japanese doesn't say things that are obvious. Japanese doesn't say things that are obvious. I say it twice because it's important. This principle applies to everything, so please keep it in mind. This means that since you are being asked what you like, you can also omit 好き like. So all that's left is ラーメンがです。Since が was there to connect ramen to 好き, it's no longer needed, and the most minimal response is ラーメンです。Even with this, there are no grammatical mistakes. If ラーメンが好きです is neutral, expressing it this concisely gives a nuance of emphasis, and the typical Japanese person will perceive that you particularly like ramen. In Japanese, what you call the subject is unnecessary in 90% of cases. Says the subject for really important times, like in 雨に負けず。Next! 風にも負けず。Since only rain has changed to wind, let's talk about Nimo. I made it look like it translates to by earlier, but by doesn't fully express Nimo. Mo has meanings like also, to, or as well. If you remove mo, 風に負けず. It would be grammatically correct and almost match the passive by. So what if it was just mo? 風も負けず. This is a bit strange, but it's not entirely incorrect Japanese. Like in the north wind and the sun, the wind is personified and becomes the subject, and there is someone else besides the wind, and the wind is competing with that someone and hasn't lost yet. I can't imagine such a situation. In summary, these verses have no clear subject, and the mysterious subject sun isn't beaten by rain or wind, but it implies there are other things he or she would never be defeated too. It's already quite mysterious and has the power to make the reader want to know more. 雪にも夏の暑さにも負けぬ。Here it comes no.Because this no is so convenient, we Japanese are bad at English prepositions. No can connect as many nouns as you want, and with just no, you can express everything from the soles of your feet to the inside of your head. Whether it means of, in, or at depends on the connected nouns and context. In other words, there's no need to translate it in your head to figure out which prepositions it is.So you might think, I see no connects nouns, so the words before and after no must be nouns. But that's not always the case. Sorry, there's more to it. We'll get to that later. And nu? Oh, nu? It was makezu before, but now it's makenu?Welcome to the world of conjugation. These auxiliary verbs, which seem to correspond to not, transform according to the following words. In daily life, you see zu more often, but actually nu is the basic form and zu is the conjugated form. I didn't expect to introduce it in classical language, but nu meaning not often appears in subculture works, so I'm glad I could introduce it.
光かぬこびぬ顧みぬ
引かぬこびぬ顧みぬ The nu of Holy Emperor Cedar is the basic or terminal form that ends a sentence, but subject sans nu is the form that connects to the following noun phrase 丈夫な体を持ちThe 丈夫な体 is a noun phrase, and the form that connects to a noun or noun phrase is an attributive form. Wait a minute. Then what about the ず in 雨にも負けず? ず is the continuative form of nu. You experience the continuative form a lot from now on, so I'll skip the explanation.And the expression method that temporarily pauses the sentence with the continuative form is called the suspended style. 雨にも負けず、風にも負けず are examples, and in daily life, you sometimes see it in newspaper headlines. So far, I've talked about how the subject is almost unnecessary, about the ni and mo and nimo, and roughly about the conjugation of nu meaning not.You must be tired of grammar talk, so let's have some fun with kanji now! Assuming you are encountering kanji for the first time, I want to clear up some misconceptions. It's said that the minimum number of kanji you need to know to live a normal life in Japan is about 2,300 characters. Oh, did you recall? Don't worry.Learning kanji doesn't mean the number of alphabets increases to 4 digits. each kanji has its own meaning. In other words, each kanji is also a word. Knowing 2,300 words in a foreign language feels like the minimum to live in society, doesn't it? Pay attention to the kanji nichi in the following example sentence. The meaning of nichi is the sun. From there, it also means day, as the rising of the sun marks the beginning of a day. 今日は1月1日の日曜日で日本では祝日。日向市では5日ぶりのいい日和です。Seeing this, it's nonsense to despair that the kanji nichi has 8 different readings and that Japanese is crazy. All the kanji clusters can be translated into very basic English. Today, January, the first day of a month. Sunday, Japan, the country of the sun. Holiday, Hinata, in the sun, city. 5 days, sunny day. They all relate to the sun and day. Whether it's 今日 or 1日, there's no rule about which kanji carries which sound. Historically, there was a time when Japanese had no writing system, and later kanji were introduced from the continent, and it was decided to use kanji to write Japanese. The Manyoshu, a collection of poems compiled in the late 8th century, is written entirely in kanji, but at that time, only the sounds of kanji were allowed to write Japanese, so it resulted in sentences that made no sense to Chinese people. First, there was oral Japanese, and there was a time when only the sounds of kanji were allowed, and gradually kanji were matched to correspond to the meaning of Japanese. So from a phonetic perspective, that's ridiculous situations occur. Since we are here, let me introduce a poem from the Manyoshu. Waka and tanka are a type of Japanese fixed form poetry. It consists of an upper phrase of 5, 7, and 5 syllables, and a lower phrase of 7 and 7 syllables, making a total of 31 syllables. In my opinion, one of the coolest things about the Manyoshu is that it includes over 2,000 poems clearly recorded as author unknown. Here's one of them. 桜花、時は過ぎねど見る人の恋の盛りと今し散るらん。桜花、時は過ぎねど見る人の恋の盛りと今し散るらん。The cherry blossoms are not yet the moment to fall, but because they are most lovely now, they might think of falling soon. The brevity of the blooming season is lamented by imagining the thought of cherry blossoms. Just wonderful. People from over 1,000 years ago showed such mature sensibility without leaving their names. Comparing to how embarrassing it is that we modern people break branches and damage tree trunks just to stand out on social media. I did it, I'm so cool. Are the subject necessary? For what? Nothing. Let's become transparent and be the heart of the flower. I digressed pretty much. The point is, when learning kanji, it's better to remember Japanese words written in kanji rather than learning the writing and readings of each kanji individually. As I showed earlier, there are many words that can be exchanged for English, and essential vocabulary are usually written in kanji, like 名前 or 住所. Every kanji has a history of its origin. Knowing that will greatly help you remember kanji. I'd like to start with ame, but we are out of time for now, and you must have gotten tired of absorbing knowledge such much. Though I'm happy I could talk about the grammar. Thank you for your company. Now for today's music. Taking advantage of introducing Japan's oldest poetry collection, let me introduce a relatively old Japanese rap-like song. It's Ora Tokyo sa IguDA by Yoshi Ikuzo. This song is sung in Tohoku dialect. Sometimes katakana is used to express distinctive accents. Also, since I introduced a cute girl Harunemi last time, I chose an old man to balance it out. The song is old but very well known, so people still play with the lyrics. And recently, an arranged version of the song was used in a commercial for Resident Evil Village. I hope you could enjoy it. Then, see you in the next video. へばまだの。
はあ、テレビもねラジオもね車もそれほど走ってね、ピアノもねバーもねおまわる毎日ぐるぐる、なんや朝起きて牛連れで2時間ちょっとの散歩道、電話もねガスもねバスは一日一度来る。おらこんな村嫌だ、おらこんな村嫌だ、東京へ出るだ、東京へ出たなら銭はためで東京でビコ買うだいが、あ、それあ、よいしょ。はあ、ギターもねステレオね、生まれてこの方見たことね、ちっさもね集いもね全くわけもな俺一人、ばあさんとじいさんと数珠を握って空を拝む、薬やね映画もねたまに来るのは紙芝居。おらこんな村嫌だ、おらこんな村嫌だ、東京へ出るだ、東京へ出たなら銭はためで東京で馬車引くだいが、あ、それそうしましょう、そうしましょう、そうしましょったらそうしましょうが、はあはあ、ディスコもね覗きもねレーザーディスクは何者だ、カラオケはあるけれどかける違いを見たことね、新聞ね雑誌もねたまに来るのは回覧板、信号ねあるわけね、オラの村には電気がない。オラこんな村嫌だ、オラこんな村嫌だ、東京へ出るだ、東京へ出たなら銭はためで金座に山買うだい。オラこんな村嫌だ、オラこんな村嫌だ、東京へ出るだ、東京へ出たなら銭はためで東京でビコ買うだいが、あ、よいしょ。
Thank you very much for your continued support of Vitamin Jab. I apologize for the sudden announcement, but I will be taking a break from posting videos for a while. I have decided to write a fanfic for a friend who is suffering from cancer and does not have much time left. Yes, I am a genuine otaku, so I also write fanfics. I expect this break to last about 2 months. I apologize to everyone who has been studying Japanese with me, but this is something that must be done now or it will be meaningless, so I hope you understand. Since I haven't set up my social media, if you can wait, please subscribe to the channel and set notifications. When we meet again, I believe everyone will have mastered hiragana and katakana, so this time for real. またね!